Welcome, my dear students, to the new session of learning. Before coming on today's topic, first we will discuss few things. Have you read the words on a TV or a computer screen? Who hasn't? It's such a silly question. But yes, with the revolution in technology, we read everything on the internet now. Can you imagine the time when all the books would be on a computer and there would be no printed books will be available? Would you like such books better? Think about it. And that's what we are going to read in today's chapter. That is the fun they had. And the author of this chapter is Isaac Asimov. This is the first chapter of the textbook Beehive. So dear students, before coming on the reading of the chapter, I would like to give you a brief intro of the author. Isaac Asimov was born on Jan 2, 1920 in Russia. He was a writer and professor of biochemistry. After spending early years of his life, his family moved to America and he spent the rest of his life over there. Asimov was a prolific and varied writer. He wrote hard science fiction, means books about science facts, and apart from that, he was also known for writing books on astronomy, means the science that deals with the study of physical universe, and biology, mathematics, religion, and literary biography. God died in US on April 6, 1992 because of heart and kidney failure. Now, dear students, here is an introduction of the story. This is a very light story. It is set in the future. It will make all of you love school. The story is regarding school life and how those children who don't go to school miss school. The setting of the story is in the future, when perhaps there will be no school, no books. Now, how those students will miss going to school and will feel that their ancestors, that is the present generation, you all, had fun going to school, meeting and helping each other. In the end, we come to know that this is an imagination of a young girl named Margie who comes to know that their ancestor used to go to school. All the children used to study together. She feels that they all had a lot of fun when they went to school. So when we read the story, we feel that school life is really very good and we are fortunate that we have real schools where we go, meet friends and get a chance to study together. Now, main characters in the story. First one, Margie. She is the 11-year-old protagonist of the story and a friend of Tommy's. Tommy is Margie's 13-year-old friend, finds an extremely old book in his attic complete with wrinkly yellowing pages. Tommy shares the book with Margie and helps her understand how the schools of the past functioned. Another character, County Inspector. The County Inspector is a mechanic who fixes Margie's mechanical teacher when the lessons are too difficult for her. He is described as a round little man with a red face and whole box of tools with dials and wires. Now, dear students, here are few terms which are related with the chapter. First, headed means titled. Crinkly means full of wrinkles. Attic, space just below the roof to store things. Scornful means hateful. Dispute, to argue. Scream, to cry. Nonchalantly, lack of cares. Whistle, blow sound with mouth. Flash, to shine. Fraction, part. Slot, a hole. Yard, land next to building. The story, now the summary of the chapter. The story opens with Margie writing in her diary about an old book that Tommy had found. Margie was reminded of her grandfather, who had once talked about his grandfather went to an actual school where the students were taught by human teachers. However, Margie and Tommy lived in the future world in the year 2157, where education was completely computerized. They did not go to school. Instead, they had a special study room where a computer taught them. The computer teacher was programmed and adjusted according to the needs of each child. Now and then, the computer teacher developed faults which were fixed by a county inspector. Both Tommy and Maggie wondered at the book found by Tommy in his attic. They wondered at it. They read books on the screen of the computer teacher. Maggie felt that the computer teacher was boring. She disliked the mechanical teaching and learning. She also wondered how much fun it would be studying in a school, studying in a fun way with other children, and that too from a human teacher. Now, students, theme of the story. The present story unfolds a picture of future schools where the mechanical teacher will teach the students and books will be meaningless. Actually, the students will learn only from the e-books and the class tests will be conducted online. The internet will have wide applications and the subjects like history and geography will be no more difficult for the students. They'll get the hard books only kept in the library. Of course, these future schools will be quite different from our present school and the old school. Thank you, students. I hope you have understood this chapter.